Sandro Franke. I'm from TTS, and from ReadSpeaker we have Johan Madsen in the line. And Johan, now it's your turn. I would like to hand over to introduce yourself, your company, and then let's go into the topic, the seamless integration of ReadSpeaker's voice services into a corporate learning and performance platform. Yeah, Johan, it's your turn.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandro. As Sandro told, my name is Johan Mattsson. I work as an account manager here at ReadSpeaker, and my responsibility is the corporate e-learning side of the ReadSpeaker business here in Scandinavia. Next picture. And the thing we're going to talk about here is how we at ReadSpeaker could work together with TTS Performance Suite to enhance the TTS Performance Suite product and the end result for the end user. Sandro?
Yes, maybe a few words here from my side, from TTS side. So my name is Sandro Franke. I'm the partner manager for our software partners. Therefore, we set up this joint webinar with ReadSpeaker. The ReadSpeaker and TTS are partner. TTS itself is a German company founded in 1998. A software vendor. Yeah, our focus is corporate learning and performance support. The solution around that focus around that topic is called TT Performance Suite, as Johan already mentioned. In addition to this piece of software, TTS offers e-learning services using our product for production purposes. And as a complement, TTS just provides a consultancy around third-party learning management systems. So this is TTS in a nutshell, I would say. I said I'm the partner manager, and I have a professional service background, being pretty much familiar with our software. Just a few words about this corporate learning and performance support platform. Again, a few words here in a nutshell. One has to know that the platform as such consists of two, I would call it, main angles or main perspectives. So on the one hand side, we have authors or subject matter experts using the back end or using the authoring component in order to create any kind of content. Be it IT-related content for an IT rollout project, or be it any non-IT content related to another topic. For example, compliance trainings, product trainings, data privacy, data security trainings. Typically, authors use templates in order to efficiently create any kind of content in a standardized manner. And the good thing is that authors and subject matter experts can also easily set any kind of content to sound, thanks to this integration, the seamless integration with ReadSpeaker. A little later, we will come to this during the demo. I will show you how easy it is to act as an author and set content to sound using the ReadSpeaker services. So this is the one perspective, the authoring perspective, the back end, if you will. And on the other hand, we have the end user's perspective or learner's perspective consuming this content. And users can consume that content through different channels. For example, they can use any kind of learning management system in order to get access to that content. They could make use of manuals that authors can easily create on the press of a button. A little later, we will start our end user journey here on our self-service portal, in order to consume content being provided by subject matter experts and authors. And as a complement, we will also have a closer look into the performance support piece that allows end users to get access to the right content in the moment of need, so depending on their actual context. And again, this content being consumed by end users, being launched by end users, can come up with appropriate sound elements, supported by ReadSpeaker. And last but not least, content can also easily be consumed, can easily be reproduced on any mobile devices thanks to HTML5. So authors can also easily produce content on the basis of HTML5 in order to support any mobile device. This is our software, again, in a nutshell. It's an award-winning software. Maybe you have heard about the Brandon Hall Award, which is a kind of Oscar for the learning and technology industry, and TTS has won this Brandon Hall Award this year for performance support and the authoring. I would like to hand over again to Johan, just a few more words about ReadSpeaker and your services.
Yeah, thank you, Sandro. Some of you know already what ReadSpeaker is, what kind of company we are, but for those of you who don't know, I'm going to give a brief history lesson. The company was founded in the late 90s in Uppsala in Sweden, when we had two guys that came up with the idea that you can produce a streaming text-to-speech audio on the internet. And this has evolved to today, when we have the possibility to produce audio. We can do literacy support. We have text-to-speech software. We can do web reading and accessible publishing. And we also have a thriving licensing business. So every type of situation where you need some kind of text-to-speech solution, we have the possibility to provide it, even if it's online or offline. Next picture. So why is text-to-speech interesting when it comes to corporate e-learning? Well, text-to-speech could be used to give more depth to the learning material, and to give the learners more different kinds of solution when it comes to how to actually get the knowledge that you want to give them. Next picture. And the thing we can see that it's our core business is the accessibility part of the population, that we have people with dyslexia or visual impairments, that sort of thing, that needs this education, but have problems with taking it in by having to read the text. But it could also be used for people that are weak in the language that you're trying to teach in. So if you have any foreign speakers, they could use text-to-speech as to give them an assistance in the learning process. Or you can also use it as a part in the bimodal sphere, that you can both read the text and have it read out loud. to get better cohesion of the knowledge, or if you actually prefer to listen to the audio instead of having to read it. Next slide. And the services we can provide are everything we have is we work with every major TTS provider. This means that we have almost every language that you want, and if you have a language that we don't have in our library, we can actually go out on the market and try to find that. Our latest thing that we picked in for our client was Persian. And we also have quite an extensive linguist team that actually works with our voices, works with our partner voices to improve them, improve speed, improve pronunciation, everything to make our voices as lifelike as possible. This also means that we have an unprecedented field of when it comes to customization for every client. So in this TTS suite that we can manually adapt pronunciation if you have anything that needs to be altered if it sounds off. Next page.
Okay, Johan, maybe I can say just a few words here around this scenario that I'm also going to present in a few moments. So this is just a pretty rough sketch here on this scenario we are going to see in a second. So on the one hand side, we have the authoring part of our corporate learning and performance support platform. Yeah, so this authoring client as part of our suite, and on the other hand, we have ReadSpeaker as a voice service available in the cloud. Yeah, and the good thing is both components, so the authoring client and the service, are seamlessly integrated. Yeah. In a few minutes, you will see that there's nearly nothing to do to establish this integration. Basically, two lines you need to fill out in the authoring client, which is the service address, and of course you will get a key from ReadSpeaker in order to use this voice service, and that's it. Yeah, and this is a pretty straightforward thing in order to quickly and efficiently bring any content to sound, yeah, in order to dub any kind of content in a sustainable way and in a high quality way, so to say. Before we go into the system and into this scenario, maybe Johan, you can just quickly summarize or wrap up the most important things we have talked about so far, the main benefits, if you will, and then we go into the system, into this scenario.
Of course. So why is this an interesting solution? Well, it's quite sustainable because we can get flexible content that suits your needs, the customer needs. We also have the opportunity to give high quality voiceovers, but it's more convenient, it's faster to produce, and you don't have to use up resources to get actors to speak. You also, our solution, the ReadSpeaker solution, is also good because you don't need to install anything on your current system, because everything is in a cloud solution here in Sweden. And everything that is the cost is based on consumption use pricing, so it's quite flexible when it comes to the cost in the end. And since we have a great package when it comes to different voices that we can provide, you can make the content flexible to suit every type of market that you want to spread this material on.
Okay, thank you so much so far for this summary. Johan, before we go into the demo, into the products and services, just a question from our side here. Are there any questions, any comments from the audience so far? So you can either raise your hand within that panel, then I can just unmute you, or you use the chat panel or the questions area in order to come up with your questions or comments. Any questions so far in regards to TTS as a company, in regards to ReadSpeaker as a company, and the related products? I don't see any question. I don't see any raised hand so far. So don't hesitate to come up with your question. It's not the case. Then I would like to start with the demo. Just one more time, I go back to this initial slide here. So I would like to start our short demo from a learner's or end user's perspective, using this self-service portal and this performance support assistant in order to get access to appropriate content that is set to sound thanks to ReadSpeaker services. So just let me go into this self-service portal. Let's use this as a starting point here as part of our corporate learning platform. Typically, learners and end users have access to this self-service portal. Of course, it can be branded according to your corporate design standards. Typically, this portal comes up with three main areas. There's a news page where authors can advertise new courses, they can advertise process changes, they can advertise, for example, a new topic catalogs, frequently asked questions, so content that has been published recently. Yeah? I've already mentioned that content can be structured and provided to end users according business processes. So there's even an option to distribute content through those processes, taking particular business roles into account. I give you a quick example here. Central Frankie, this is my login. English is my preferred content language, and I'm currently working as a shipping employee. So I do not have access to any content, to any knowledge around the order to cash, but I could drill down here into my forecast to stock process. Yeah, so a pretty convenient thing in order to provide content and knowledge that fits to particular job roles and to particular content languages. Topics are often used in order to provide access to FAQs. FAQs around HR topics, around IT topics, around particular IT modules. This is just a quick example here as part of our showcase platform. A third area that can be used in order to structure content and knowledge accordingly are courses. Courses are pretty popular when it comes to trainings. So meaning you can structure your knowledge according certain training plans, if you will. For example, if you would like to provide trainings around your applications, your enterprise applications, you can easily set up those courses. This is just an example around an SAP course around the order processing, and as you can see, such a course can easily be used by end users, by learners. You can go through that course step by step, starting here on the top in the first section, and here you can easily start to consume any kind of content, be it in e-learning, be it in documentation or a short instruction. Yeah? And this e-learning, as we will see in a second, could also come up with appropriate sound elements that explain certain steps in a lot of details. Yeah? So this is just an example on a course around an IT-related training topic. As we have seen on my initial slide, authors can also easily create any kind of content that is not related to IT, so it can be around a compliance topic, it can be around a product topic, so or any other topic can be used in order to create appropriate content. Yeah? And I give you just a first example here on a product training from one of our customers using our corporate learning platform in order to create, in this case, non-IT content, a product training, and using the option to set this content also to sound. You will immediately see that content is created on the basis of appropriate templates, so reflecting the according corporate design of a company, of a corporation. So just let me open up this element here, and hopefully you will see it and you will hear it. I will activate my loudspeakers here. So you see it already has started here with a proper start page. I need to activate my speakers. So, and this is just
learning targets.
So
BASF wants you to know the basics on seed solutions regarding seed treatments and seed enhancements. This is fundamental for the second module, how FlowRight works. In this e-learning, you will learn about seed treatments in general, seed enhancements like functional coatings and colorants, the application of seed treatment products, and an overview of our products for various crops and coating applications. This e-learning sequence will take about 10 minutes of your time.
Yeah. So this is just an introduction around a product training for a product called FlowRight, and now the learner and user can go on using those panel elements here in order to navigate through that learning module. Yeah. So this is just a first example how content and sound can be combined from an learner's or end user's perspective. Yeah? Now just let me quickly introduce to you the second part of this self-service. As you remember, there was a tiny little orange here. This tiny little orange is our so-called quick access. Yeah? And this quick access helps end users to get access to the right content when they really need it. Yeah? We also call it performance support, meaning once I use this quick access, this single point of truth here in my system tray, once I click on it, it immediately recognizes the current context. Yeah? So I'm currently here on Windows 7 on my desktop, and then I could immediately launch an appropriate e-learning with sound, or I could launch documentation or any other asset that can be of help here in my current context. Just taking a particular enterprise application here as an appropriate example, you see that I'm currently in a transaction here within my ERP system, and this single point of truth, this quick access, immediately comes up with appropriate performance support assets, field helps, documentations, and among others also those self-learning units, those e-learnings. Yeah? And again, I could directly launch such an e-learning. That e-learning can come up with appropriate sound, with appropriate ReadSpeaker sound, and such an e-learning could be a really helpful thing in order to show me a kind of best practice how to use this transaction. Yeah? This is just a typical example how IT content could look like, yeah? And how IT content can support end users in the moment of need. Yeah? And as the next step, I would quickly show you how easy it is to create such a piece of content, and how easy it is to set it also to sound, thanks to this seamless integration with ReadSpeaker voices. So, but before we are going to change the perspective, and before we are going to act as an author, I would like to ask you whether you have any questions. Are there any questions so far from your side in regards to the end user and a learner's perspective, in regards to TTS as a company and ReadSpeaker as a company? Any comments, any questions so far? Just let me quickly check the panels here. There's no raised hand. There's nothing in the chat. So it seems that you do not have any questions so far. Therefore, I would like to go on. And again, I would stay a little longer here in our corporate learning and performance platform, but taking the other perspective into account, the authoring perspective. Therefore, I'm going to jump into the back end of our solution. It looks like this. Again, on the left-hand side, one can immediately see the three different perspectives that can be used in order to structure knowledge and content accordingly, processes, topics, and courses. So, and my task will be to create a new content element. I will use this tiny little piece here, this document called "How do I add contact details to an existing user account?" Why will I do this? Because I would like to support my end users, my learners, in the moment of need. In which moment of need? I'll give you an example. Let's imagine I'm somewhere here stuck as a new user, as a new employee, and I'm going to use this quick access, as I have heard, okay, this might help in a certain moment of need, in a certain context, but you see, hey, at the moment there's nothing here in. There's no performance support asset, there's no self-learning unit with sound, So I need to create something in order to support my learners, my end users. So that's the plan for the next few moments. So just let me arrange my panel here, going back into the back end of our platform, and I'm going to use this placeholder in order to create some content. So we are going to create a so-called TT document. This is the internal format here of our solution. As an author, one can flexibilize many different e-learning parameters, so results that should be provided to end users, different learning modes, whether it should be HTML or HTML5, a lot of other tiny little settings around the documentation and e-learnings. So typically, authors, common authors, subject matter experts don't touch those parameters. Thanks to this template approach, everything is already standardized. As an author, you only have to confirm your new piece of content, and then you can immediately start with the creation of it using here our document editor. This editor looks a bit like a PowerPoint, as established on the left-hand side, that already displays certain predefined step templates. Again, they would have the corporate design from any corporation from your company. In the center of my editor, there's in the center of my screen, there's an editor for e-learning documentation and step-by-step guide. So just by creating once the content, you immediately support 3 different output formats: e-learning, documentation, and guide. So we also call it single source file. So right now, I would like to create some content around this new scenario that I've already sketched here, this user maintenance, where no content is available so far for the learners and end users. Therefore, I'm going to record a kind of a best practice sequence for my audience, for my end users. So I'm going to use this particular target application that I would like to support. This target application comes to the foreground. Having my story in mind, I can easily capture the different actions that I need to do in order to add some contact details to an existing user account. This was the initial question we had, and this is the question we need to answer right now. So that's it. Just a quick recording. I stopped the recording here, and being back in my in my single source file, you can already see, okay, there is a complete story consisting of 10 steps. Each step is documented accordingly and is available as an e-learning with different learning modes, like an exercise, a presentation, and a movie. So, and right now, I would like to set everything to sound. Beforehand, I could also easily insert additional elements, further pages, step pages, predefined content pages, objects on a page. Just let me quickly add here a text box. For example, enjoy the best practice sequence. Something like this, And now I would like to bring or to set everything to sound using ReadSpeaker. Therefore, we quickly have a look here in our tab called Sound, and I would like to show you how easy it is to seamlessly integrate with ReadSpeaker. So it's pretty much straightforward. And by the way, this is a one-time effort to open this dialog. to configure the connection to ReadSpeaker. So right now this connection is being established. So it should be there in a second. So my Wi-Fi is not the fastest here. So here we are. This is everything you need to configure once. So basically it's the service URL from ReadSpeaker, and ReadSpeaker or we as TTS as a company can provide you an appropriate key in order to use this service. There are some minor parameters in order to adjust those voice services accordingly, but we can ignore it for the moment. So most important thing is the URL and the key from ReadSpeaker. That's it. Yeah? And now an author can decide what should be set to sound. Yeah? So for example, I would like to set this text box to sound. Therefore, I create a speaker text for this particular text box. I just select it accordingly, and so it's set to sound, or nearly it's set to sound. The speaker text has already been created, as you see here on the left-hand side. On the upper left-hand side, there's a tiny loudspeaker sign. Additionally, I would like to set to sound all the different instructions here per simulation screen. As you see, for example, enter the username into the user field. Those instructions have been created through the recording in an automatic way, in an automatic manner, thanks to this recorder technology. So, and I would like to set all those comments to sound, to ReadSpeaker sound. Therefore, I just press another button called All Comments, here being in this Sound tab. So, right now, 10 new speaker texts have been created. That's good. And before we really start with the generation of those voices, we can edit the whole story a little for the appropriate dubbing. Therefore, I'm going to open another dialog called Edit Speaker Text. So again, the connection to ReadSpeaker, to the ReadSpeaker service within the cloud is being established. Here it is, and now I can just decide as an author which elements of my whole story should be set to sound. Yeah? For example, in the first step, I would like to add an additional comment. For example, welcome to the first lesson, and now I would like to use a particular ReadSpeaker voice. You see, we have already configured some voices here, and let's go for the US English, a female voice. So the next step, which is just the overview page, there's no voice needed at all, so I delete this speaker text. It's already empty, so nothing to do here. So the next step is step number 3, this text box that I have entered. So again, I would like to use the US English, the female voice, and then we go into, this can be deleted, we go into the simulation part. You remember the thing that I have captured, and again, I only need to go for an appropriate voice. Again, I take the female voice here of my US English. Next point, again, US English female. There are quite some nice options here within this editing dialog. I can just take the existing instruction being created automatically by the recorder, and I can just deviate it a bit, yeah, in order to adjust it. For example, I would like to make it a little more neutral, the user name. Yeah? So, and then, again, this is a very handy thing here. I can run a kind of rehearsal in order to check whether this voice is the appropriate one. So hopefully you can hear it once I press this tiny little loudspeaker.
Enter the username into the user field.
Yeah, so on the fly, ReadSpeaker creates a kind of rehearsal. Maybe you have heard the background music. So this background music just comes up in order to distinguish between a rehearsal and the productive voices. And if I want, I can also check another voice, for example, the UK English. And again, I can double check this on the fly.
Enter the username into the user field.
And maybe I say as an order, hey, I prefer the US English. And again, I can go on here, just adjusting the other steps. So click the change button, that's fine. Maybe the next one, the mobile phone, and here one more time I would like to show you this very practical function. I take the existing instructions, the order instruction, and I just modify it a little, the phone number. Yeah. Again, I could run a rehearsal if needed. So, and as you might know, if you are an experienced author, the last step is always called the any key step. So this is the final screen of the simulation, and maybe you add a last hint. Don't forget to save your changes. Yeah. So again, I could run this rehearsal in order to check whether it can be heard accordingly. So I don't need this last step anymore. This is the summary step. I don't want to set this to sound. That's all. I confirm it. The unnecessary speaker text will be deleted, and that's it. Yeah. So if I want, I could just continue with further enrichments here. Just let me show you a last thing here. Maybe I quickly add a last highlight here in order to raise the awareness of the save button, or for the save button. I say, okay, let's quickly focus on that save icon. So that's it. And the only thing I need to do right now is, and this is the last point you need to do in order to set everything to sound. You need to trigger this generating process in order to get the appropriate sound files from ReadSpeaker. So just press this button, speak all texts, and again the connection to the ReadSpeaker cloud is being established. Sound files are being created. It took us 15 seconds, I would say, or 10 seconds. 8 files have been created, and I can immediately run a preview, including the appropriate sound, according the definitions that I have made in my editing dialog. So let's quickly run a preview.
Welcome to the first lesson.
So this was just the start page. There was no sound at all on this introductory page.
Enjoy the best practice sequence.
So this was just an example on how to set a text box to sound. And now let's have a look here on...
Click the user input field.
On the simulation part, I switched to another learning mode. The presentation mode.
Into the user field.
So this is the presentation mode, so I have to press the next button. So I could also run the film mode.
Click the mobile phone input field.
So, and we are nearly through.
Enter the phone number into the mobile phone field.
So you see also the difference between the auto instruction in the panel and the things that come through the loudspeaker. So it's slightly different since I have deviated the original auto instruction just by this ReadSpeaker voice.
Don't forget to save your changes.
And that's all you need to know in order to enrich content, in order to set it to sound. Yeah? And once you are through the complete creation process, you just bring everything back to the management component, and you can immediately release it. You can publish it in order to support your end users, your learners in the moment of need, or you can also provide them immediate access to that content if they prefer to use the portal, or if they would like to consume the content through a learning management system, for example. So this is everything you need to have in mind when it comes to the creation of new content and setting this content to sound using this seamless integration of ReadSpeaker services. So just let me quickly check in this new piece of content. It's already there, as you can see. And last time that I'm going to change my head, again, I'm an end user right now using this particular context. You remember this. Here we started this user maintenance. One more time, I click on my confidence button here, the single point of truth, and right now the according assets are popping up, and I could immediately use my e-learning unit in order to get access to a best practice being explained as an e-learning, including appropriate sound.
Welcome to the first lesson.
Yeah. So this is the whole story. Pretty much straightforward, seamlessly integrated. And everything can be standardized in a very high manner, and it's a top-notch solution in order to support your learners and end users. That's it from my side. Do you have any questions? Just let me check the panel one more time. Are there questions? Are there any raised hand? Are there questions in the chat? Do you have questions? Don't hesitate to ask us whatever question you might have in mind. No questions at all? If you should have questions afterwards, don't hesitate to drop us an email or to give us a call. We would be happy to individually discuss your questions, be it around the technology as such, be it around our companies, our partnerships, or be it around commercial questions you have in mind. Yeah? Otherwise, I would like to thank you. Thanks a lot for joining the webinar. Johan, maybe you have also a few last words to our audience.
No, I don't have any final words to say. Nothing inspirational to say either. But as Sandro said, that if you have any questions about anything regarding to the TTS Performance Suite or ReadSpeaker's product portfolio, you're free to email us afterwards, and we can take a chat in a time when it suits you.
Okay, thank you so much, and yeah, have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.